Dalvin Cook, Pro Bowl NFL running back Dalvin Cook, could be in some legal trouble after a woman accuses him of domestic assault. We're going to talk about it right after the bumper. What's good people? Jeff Lightsy Jr. here with the Black Boss channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button, like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell because we upload every single day. Now, Dalvin Cook, who is an NFL running back, who currently for the Minnesota Vikings, Pro Bowl running back, really good at what he does. Dalvin Cook, one of the best in the business, but Dalvin Cook could potentially be in some legal problems, or he could potentially be extorted. This case is just super crazy. But it does have a lesson at the end, but we have to cipher through a lot of the mess. And I'm going to read to you from BSO, Black Sports Online. This is where I first found this story about Dalvin Cook and this potential extortion or potential domestic violence. It's kind of everywhere. And I'm going to read it to you and share my screen to make sure we read this together and we're able to comprehend and understand what's taking place with Dalvin Cook in his former girlfriend, apparently. Let's read together. This is from Robert Littall on BSO. It says, this story took so many twists and turns last night. It was tough to keep up with. Yes, this story is pretty crazy, and we're going to get to this. So this is the summary. It says, Sergeant Trimble says that she and Dalvin Cook started dating in 2018. Now, keep that 2018 year in mind, is what he says, and you're going to want to keep that in mind. Cook and Trimble both agreed their off again, on again relationship was toxic. Keep that in mind as well. This all came to a head in November 19th of 2020. So last year around this time. According to Trimble, she flew to Minnesota to break up with Cook. Flew to Minnesota from Florida, by the way. They met in Florida. I don't want to skip that out. So they met in Florida. Cook is from Florida. They met in Florida. She flew back and forth to Minnesota for 2 years at this point. Almost a year ago. She flew to Minnesota from Florida to break up with Cook and retrieve her belongings. She entered their home through a garage opener, which she says she owned that he gave her. She doesn't say if Cook invited her in or not. Trimble says Cook got upset while she was getting her things, so she attempted to mace him, and then he threw her into a coffee table. Trimble then retrieved a gun, and she said to protect herself while Cook was hitting her with a broomstick. Ooh, so that's her side of the story. She had a gun. She pulled a gun on him because he was assaulting her with a broomstick. This is Cook's version of what took place. He says Trimble broke into his house with a stolen garage opener, immediately started assaulting him and sprayed him with mace. She then retrieved a gun and held him and his house guest hostage for hours. When she tried to assault one of the female guests, Cook sprang into action, causing her to injure herself in the ensuing melee. Now that's two totally different incidents of, two totally different versions of the same incident. So let's continue reading. There's two interesting things. The first thing is evidence to back up both their stories. So there's evidence to back up both their stories. Trimble has a text message from Cook apologizing for what he did and begging her to come back. Cook has witnesses to back up his story with the video of Trimble threatening to shoot and assault him. So this just gets crazy. The second thing is, and the question I'm getting asked a lot, this is Robert talking, is why didn't anyone go to the police immediately after? Because remember, this took place a year ago this time. In the lawsuit, so Trimble filed a lawsuit. Let me make sure I tell you guys the story. Trimble is a sergeant in the Army, by the way. The lady, Miss Trimble. She filed a lawsuit that came out this week, recently. But all this took place a year ago. And so the question, that's what Robert's answering, is why didn't anyone go to the police immediately after? This took place a year ago, November 19th. We're in November of 2021. This is November of 2020. So why didn't anyone go to the police back in 2020? And he's going to answer the question. He says, I'm getting asked a lot, why didn't anyone go to the police? The answer is simple. After all the fighting and gunplay, Cook and Trimble got back together for an extended period of time and didn't officially break up till May of 2021. That's a whole 6 months after the incident. According to Cook, that is when Trimble started trying to extort him for money. So how can she extort him? Well, remember, they both kind of admitted that there was some kind of melee. Well, during that melee, Trimble, the lady, actually gets injured, like has physical injuries that are visible. And I'm going to show you the pictures from that injury. So she has physical injuries from the melee. And when she says Cook assaulted her and threw her into a coffee table and hit her with a broomstick and all kinds of stuff. So there's actually physical pictures of what took place. And now he's saying she's trying to extort him. So all of this is crazy. A couple of other notes. When Trimble and Cook got together, she was married. Whoa, she was married to a man named Irvin Nesbitt. Now, listen. So this relationship started with infidelity, but it gets even worse. It's unclear if Nesbitt knew she was cheating on him then, but sources say the reason he decided to go through with the divorce is that Trimble stabbed him. Trimble stabbed him. Now, this is according to sources. This hasn't been confirmed or, this guy hasn't come out and spoken, at least not that I've seen as of now. But sources, according to Mr. Robert Littall, is well, he's in this game. He's dope. He really knows what he's doing. And he tells both sides of the story, obviously. Great journalism. Is that she stabbed him. And that was the final straw for him. The divorce was filed in August of 2019. Remember that date, 2018. We set up here, Trimble and Dalvin Cook started dating in 2018. This man, Mr. Irvin Nesbitt, didn't file divorce until August of 2019, a full year after Trimble and Cook started hooking up. So this story is pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Now, I'm not telling you what way to think, what way to go, but I am going to show you some pictures of Miss Trimble, of her injuries. And this right here is going to be the video of you remember when I said in Robert wrote that there's video or there's evidence to back up both stories. So the evidence for Miss Trimble, which is the lady over there on the left, is that the evidence for her is that she has physical pictures of her injuries. The evidence for Dalvin Cook is this video right here, which you can listen and hear Trimble talking about threatening to assault and shoot Dalvin Cook. Let's take a listen.
Ooh, Chris, you're blocking him. Come on.
I'm gonna block him. You can call the police. You can call whoever.
Nobody wants to call the police. Just let him go.
No. Okay, let me talk to him.
No talking. No talking.
You owe that to me. You owe that to me.
Shit to nobody. I don't owe. Let my hair go.
Chris.
Let it go. Stop.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch on your shit again.
You have it, bro.
Get my gun and pull that bitch.
All right, get your gun.
Dumbass nigga, get this shit out of here too.
Who's gun? Who, bro?
Chris, stop.
So you can hear her say, I'm going to get my gun and pull it. I'm going to punch you in your face again. He's saying, let go of my hair. So that's his video evidence taken by someone who was there at the house. Now, next is, a warning. It's going to be, this is the messages that Trimble has. So this is Dalvin Cook. It says, I know what I did can't be rewind, but I just want you to know I'm sorry. I love you so much despite you thinking I don't or never did. But I do. Whatever you need, I'm here for you. And if you want to go to the police, I'll respect that. I'll take my punishment for what I did. She says, Dalvin, my face is so messed up, I probably won't even get to see my family for Thanksgiving. And then he goes on to say, I'm sorry for that, but the situation got out of hand from the jump. Can you come back to me? And she sends him a picture of her face, what it looks like, and a video of her face. And this is a picture. These are some of the pictures of her face. She clearly has damage to her face. And I think this is another picture of her face, bloodied up, messed up, I guess, directly after what took place. And this is what she normally looks like. So this is what's taking place. And I'm not telling you the story to gossip. I'm not telling you the story to, just tell you the story. I'm telling you the story because there's a lot to learn from Dalvin Cook. I mean, these are situations that could have been avoided. One, Dalvin Cook could have left a married woman alone. That was the number one thing. When I read that, I almost couldn't believe it. I was like, yo, she was married? Like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? Like, infidelity is not it. Nothing good comes from infidelity. Let's put this out there. Nothing good comes from infidelity. Nothing at all. Period. I'm not judging you, if you've been in that situation, and if you have been in that situation, you understand nothing good can come from that. If Dalvin Cook leaves a married woman alone, this situation is avoided. Maybe something else takes place in his life because nobody's perfect. Things are taking place in my life, things are taking place in your life. But if you leave this married woman alone, the chances of something like this happening, at least with her, are none. It doesn't happen. 2, being in toxic relationships are not cute. There's nothing cute or satisfying about being in a toxic relationship. Okay, you get in this relationship with this woman that was married, cool, whatever. This incident takes place. Why in the hell do you go back to it? This woman threatened to shoot you. This woman was assaulting you. You clearly allegedly, all of this is alleged, let me put allegedly. Allegedly, this woman assaulted you. It's pretty, audible that she said, I punched you in the face, but allegedly, it's pretty audible. He says, let my hair go, allegedly. And it's pretty obvious, allegedly, that he some form of way assaulted her. And she has this video evidence, and it's up to the courts and the judges and the juries and all that stuff to figure that stuff out. But come on, man. Like, being in a toxic relationship with a woman or with a man, there's nothing good that can come from that. Like, y'all allegedly are physically assaulting each other, throwing each other into coffee tables allegedly, pulling out guns on each other allegedly, punching each other in the face allegedly. Like, come on, man. Come on. And for all the black men out there, like black men, black women, if this is the type of relationship that you want to be in, or if this is the type of relationship that you're currently in, please leave. Please leave, because this could have ended up a lot worse. This could have ended up a whole lot worse. Someone could have ended up dead. Someone could have ended up shot. Someone, it sounds like, allegedly was physically harmed on both ends. There's nothing good that comes from this. Like, all that comes from this is pain and trauma. All that comes from this kind of situation is pain and trauma. I'm praying for the best for both Miss Trimble, who is a sergeant in the U.S. Army, apparently. I'm praying the best for Dalvin Cook, who is a budding star in the NFL, professional football player, professional athlete, who has a family. Golly, but those of you at home, this is the domestic violence, being in toxic relationships. There's nothing cool, funny, cute, or anything about that kind of stuff. If you get the opportunity, when you get the opportunity, please leave and save yourself. Save yourself from multiple things, but especially that pain and that trauma. My name is Jeff Lightsy Jr. with the Black Boss Channel and Victory Formation. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Peace.